I'm Pete Martin, longtime mandolinist and private lesson teacher. In this video, we will cover developing a solo for the common bluegrass song, Love Come Home, in the key of A. To get the accompanying PDF file, see the description below. Ask any questions you have in the comments section. In this video series, I've shown many devices improvisers use in soloing. Here I will build a solo using some of these. You should do the same on any piece of your choosing. Any 4/4-time bluegrass singing song starts with 3 beats of pickup notes. The chord at this point in the song is A. Here I choose to play an ascending A major chord tone scale from the open A string to the A note, the 5th fret of the E string. Remember that the chord tone scale keeps the note of the chord on the beat and thus sounds good with the rhythm section. See that here in example 1. 3, 4, 1. Now we are on the first full measure of the solo and still playing against an A chord. We play 2 notes of an A major arpeggio, the notes A and E. Because an arpeggio is just the notes of a chord, it always fits. Then into a common Sam Bush type triplet on F sharp, G, and F sharp. Execute this by picking the first note, hammer on to the second note, and pull off for the third note. Follow this by going down the chord tone scale E to C sharp and then back up to E. See this in example 2. 2, 3, 4. The next measure is a cliché phrase I hear mandolinists and fiddlers play a lot in this key. I suggest you memorize and learn this phrase as it is so common to bluegrass improvisers. It starts on open E, goes up to A, back down to E, then a cool flat 3-3 blues phrase, the notes C to C sharp, then down to A and chord tone scale down to E. Play this in example 3. 2, 3, 4. And the 3 to 4 you can either slide or you can pick. We have one more measure of A chord to play. Start with the C sharp, A, C sharp arpeggio, then into an ascending chord tone scale up to A, then jump up to C sharp. Play this in example 4. 2, 3, 4. We have reached our first chord change, the flat 7 chord, or G. The last 2 notes in the previous measure surrounded the B note, the 3rd of the G chord. This makes the transition into the G chord very smooth and natural. This surround is a great way to navigate chord changes, and I suggest working out many chord changes using this technique. Into another bluegrass cliché sound of the scale notes 3-2-1, 3-2-1, or the note names B-A-G, B-A-G of the G major scale. This G chord lasts only one measure and is followed by a D chord. We're going to use the surround technique again by playing the notes E and G, which will lead us to the F sharp at the beginning of the next measure. See this in example 5. 2, 3, 4. These last 2 notes surround what will be the first note of the next phrase. So learn these surround ideas. We are now playing against the D chord. Start with a 3-note descending arpeggio, the notes F sharp, D, and A, then up the D major chord tone scale to F sharp. At the end, another arpeggio of the D chord, the notes F sharp and A. Play this in example 6. 2, 3, 4. In the next measure, the singing melody of Love Come Home emphasizes a C natural note against the D chord, or the flat 7th note. This produces a bluesy quality that we can use in this same place. We play a bluegrass cliché sound for a D7 chord, the notes C and B twice each, followed by a D chord arpeggio of A, F sharp, D, and F sharp. See this in example 7. 2, 3, 4. In the next measure, we are back on the A chord. Because we have had all moving notes in the solo up to this point, it sounds good to hang out on the E note for a bit, then ascend an A major chord tone scale to the end of the measure. See this in example 8. 2, 3, 4. The next measure starts with an eighth note slide from C sharp to E, the 4th fret to the 7th fret on the A string. Then play the open E string followed by the 2nd fret, F sharp. Then down an A7 chord arpeggio, E, C sharp, A, and G. Play this in example 9. 2, 3, 4. In the next measure, a D chord arpeggio into chord tone scale lick number 2. Play this in example 10. We go up the D major chord tone scale, with the exception of I like the G sharp sound better here than the G natural, although either work fine, into a D arpeggio at the end of the measure. See this in example 11. 2, 3, 4. Back on an A chord, here we use chord tone scale lick number 3. See this in example 12. 2, 3, 4. The same phrase continues for 4 more notes, then into an ascending A major chord tone scale. This is example 13. 2, 3, 4. Still on the A chord, we go small bits up and down the A major chord tone scale until ending on an A arpeggio, A and C sharp. See this in example 14. 2, 3, 4. Now we find the E chord, the 5 chord in the progression. A 5 chord always implies a dominant 7th chord, so think of this as E7. Starting on B, down 3 notes in the E7 chord tone scale, then drop down to the open D, the flatted 7th note of E7. Up the E7 chord tone scale to G sharp, then over to B. This will surround our next note, the A note, when the A chord comes in the next measure. Play this in example 15. 2, 3, 4. In the last 2 measures, we resolve to the A note against the A chord, followed by a Bill Monroe cliché ending phrase. Shift to 2nd position, where your left hand index finger takes fret number 4, the middle finger fret number 5, and the ring finger fret number 7. Play this in example 16. 2, 3, 4. I played the solo fast at the beginning of the video. Example 17 is the whole solo slow. 3, 4, 1. This is just one of countless ways this solo could go. See if you can find more. Please subscribe, click the bell for notifications, click like, and leave a nice comment as a sacrifice to the algorithm. If you like what you are learning, I ask that you consider supporting my efforts on my Patreon page. Member privileges include early access to videos, exclusive Patreon-only videos and articles, monthly Q&A live stream, and a monthly private lesson. A special thanks to these supporters. You can do this and get a shout out too at patreon.com/Pete Martin. And I'll see you on the next one.